Talmud clearly states that Yaakov Avinu, Moshe Rabainu, and Dovid HaMelech didn't pass away. So why is it that only Chabad is passionate about it?
We know there are many sources in Torah that say that Yaakov Lomes, Yaakov continues to live, Moshe Lomes, and other sources about tzaddikim, Dovid HaMelech Yisrael Chai V'Kayam. Being that these things have sources in Torah, how come we find only in Chabad that they're so passionate about this principle and they apply it to the Rebbe? So the answer is, in the many sichos that the Rebbe gave over the years, one of the quotes that's very common is Chayev Adam Lema B'Loshen Rabbi, which means a person should speak in the same language as his Rebbe. And the Rebbe once explained this. What's the source for this? There's a Mishnah in Idias where Hillel Hazaken, the great sage, made the following statement: Molei hin mayim shu'ovim peislin hamikvah. Hin is a measurement in the Talmud. If there's a full measurement of hin, of water, that falls into a mikvah, under certain conditions, of course, it disqualifies the mikvah. And then it says, Chayev Adam Leima B'Loshen Rabbi. A person should speak in the language of his Rebbe. What does that mean? So the Rambam, Maimonides, explains that the quote is, Mole hin mayim, a full measurement of water. Why did he have to say the word mole? Why couldn't he just say, hin mayim she'uvim? This measurement of ordinary water disqualifies the mikveh. And the answer is because a person has to speak in the language of his Rebbe. This is the way his Rebbe said it. His Rebbe was Shmaya Avtalion. So the interesting thing is this: Shmaya and Avtalion were, according to some opinions, converts, or they were descendants of converts. And because of that, they couldn't pronounce the aleph sound, rather the hey sound. And therefore, if they would have said, hin mayim she'uvim peislim esamikvah, it would have sounded like an aleph, ein mayim she'uvim peislim esamikvah, which means water, ordinary water, doesn't disqualify the mikvah. And that's the opposite of the halacha. So not to make a mistake, they added the word mole hin mayin. We know for sure they mean the word hin, which is a measurement, and not the word ein, which means it doesn't. And the Rebbe concludes, imagine, here you have your Rebbe that says something a certain way, and the reason is because he's a descendant or he is a convert, and therefore he can't pronounce the words properly. How much more so if in that case you're obligated to speak in the same language as your Rebbe? How much more so in everything else that your Rebbe says or the Rebbe talks about, you should be speaking the same language. We as Chabad Hasidim know that the Rebbe, all the years, was passionate about this subject and spoke about this with passion many times regarding the Rebbe's father-in-law, the previous Rebbe, that the Rebbe is alive. Those who want to do a little bit of research, is actually a book called Proceeding Together, where the sichos of the first year, 1950, 1951, were translated into English. And you can see how every week or every other week, the Rebbe again talks about the fact that the Rebbe is here and the Rebbe is with us. In fact, in one case, the Rebbe raises the question, how can I be bringing here and speaking if the Rebbe is here? And the Rebbe answers the question by saying that these halachas, about a certain degree of respect, is when you can see with your eyes of flesh. But if not, then it doesn't apply. So basically, the Rebbe constantly talked about this. In fact, normally when you mention the name of a tzaddik, you add the words, Zecher Tzaddik Livracha. He should be remembered with blessing. When the Shmasa begins, his soul is in Gan Eden. The Rebbe never, when he spoke about his father-in-law, the previous Rebbe, he never used those terms. And the Rebbe himself once explained it, and he said, because for me, the Rebbe is here and he's alive. So he doesn't want to use terms which talk about a memory, because you don't make something which is a memory for someone who is here. So we see that this was the Rebbe's passion, and this is the way the Rebbe spoke about his Rebbe. So certainly, Chayev Adam Loima B'Lashon Rabbi, this is the way we speak, and we're passionate about the Rebbe, that the Rebbe is here, and drawing the parallel to Moshe Rabainu, Yaakov Avinu, and other tzaddikim, especially those that were Nasi.